So welcome again to my new studio. If you've not seen any of my other videos, this is basically my new studio. It's easier for me. I'm getting some more lighting so I don't look like I'm being interrogated, or maybe I am. But now this video is just a full review of the Steeldive SD1940, which is the correct name, by the way, because people have queried that, but it is. I've had it confirmed that this is definitely the right name for this watch. Now, this is a bronze pilot style watch, which has got a lot of quirks but interesting features and some design history, which I'm going to share in this review. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'm also going to show you the watch outside the studio setting in a more relaxed environment, out in the countryside, out in the open, and give you a better idea of what this watch is like overall. And this is an unbiased and fair review, even though I was kindly sent this watch. I don't have to send this back to steeldiveuk.com. I'm not paid in any way to say any of these things. And there are dislikes in this watch. This isn't just me raving about how amazing this watch is. It's better than everything in the entire universe, because you see straight through that, guys. You know I'm an honest person. And this video is me just being clear and sharing my findings, basically. I've worn this watch and enjoyed it as my own to share with you just my opinions. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you in a minute. So welcome back. If you've not seen this watch before and you haven't seen my first impressions, I hope you enjoy this video. But as a disclaimer, I must say I got this watch for free from steeldiveuk.com. We have a relationship where they pay me £11 million to say only but good things about this watch and tell you it's the best thing ever made. And I'm obviously pulling a leg, because that's what a lot of people seem to think, because anyone who's a YouTuber gets a free watch, they immediately presume you're going to be biased, you're going to lie, you're getting paid. I'm going to tell you now, none of that's true with regards to me and this channel, because integrity is my middle name. I actually could show you the birth certificate, but it's a bit embarrassing because you don't want to know all the rest of my names I've got. But I digress massively, because I just want to be clear, I got this watch for free and there's no silliness. So I'm going to be honest, I'll tell you that this watch isn't perfect. It's got some things wrong with it, and that will help show you it isn't biased. But it is a good watch. And the reason why it's good is because, as follows. I've had this watch a few weeks now, and I've had time to enjoy it and wear it out and about. I'm going to show you a few pictures and videos of it out and about in action. Nothing too crazy. I don't live that much of an exciting life, but I get it to take it out and about and enjoy some countryside and enjoy the watch and share that with you. And it gives me enough time to really play with the watch, tinker with it, and share with you my findings. And if you saw my initial impressions video, you know, I initially was quite impressed, and I did highlight a few things I was concerned about, but I've had time to have the watch longer now, wear it, enjoy it, get an understanding of what to expect, and that's what I'm going to share with you now. Now, for some context, I'm not going to show you the stats and the specs quite yet. I just want to give you an idea of what this whole design is all actually about. Effectively, in the 1940s, there was a commission out to design a military style watch, a field pilot watch, etc., that can match a list of specifications such as the dial design, which effectively is clear Arabics, matte black dial, had to have a minimal amount of water resistance. This obviously surpasses it. Had to have a level of anti-magnetism, had to be robust. It's all these things. And one of the designs was by IWC, International Watch Company, and they effectively did this design. And a few others, Jaeger, LeCouture, and a few other companies, they did their own versions, their own interpretations, their own matching of the brief that was set. I think it was 12 in the end. They called it the Dirty Dozen. But one of the most famous and the most popular, the one that everyone knows, is the one done by IWC. And this is Steeldive's take on that vintage historical timepiece. And so that's a little bit of a backstory behind this design and what this watch is paying homage to. And I think it does so successfully. It definitely matches the specification that was originally set way back when. So this satisfies all those needs. So let's move on to the stats and the specs of this watch, because that is important, so you get an understanding of what we're looking at. So I'm just going to get my measuring tool so I can do this straight up in front of you, so I'm not just reading out numbers. So the case size on this watch is 39. This is 38.8, but it's 39. The crown which is screwed down, is 6.2. The thickness of the watch is 11.7. The lugs are 20, and the lug to lug is 48.8. Now I want to show you it on my wrist so you get an idea of how a watch of those proportions looks on a man with a 7-inch wrist. Yes, I did say wrist. And there we go, that's on my wrist. I've put this on a Zulu diver sand coloured NATO because the leather strap as standard, black with the white stitching, is very stiff, not very good quality, and I would recommend to anyone buying an entry-level watch or a good value watch, change the strap out. It's not much money. I got this from Watch Gecko. Again, I've not been paid to say that. I've bought so many of their straps and they've all been excellent quality. So with regards to suggesting Watch Gecko, I am biased because I have a lot of experience and they are fantastic quality. And they haven't paid me to say that. Oh, I've got to say that all the time now. Anyway, these are so comfortable, and you get limited choices with a bronze watch of what kind of strap to put it on. That's one of my downsides, is because it's bronze, it's difficult to get things to match or colorways, but I think it works well with this kind of sandy color. So I'm actually quite pleased that I had this knocking around so I can show you on a upgraded strap. And the good thing is this kind of strap you can get wet because this has got 200 meters water resistance. It's really easy for you to just slap it on this kind of strap, a NATO, and get it wet. A lot of people say, oh no, it's got stainless steel hardware, it's not going to match with the bronze. Stainless steel doesn't stain your skin like bronze can. Very quickly, if you get a hot and sweaty day, you can quite quickly get tarnishing coming off the bronze. It reacts with your skin, you get green. And I wore this one day at work and I was working hard for a change, and I got myself really sweaty. And I had ring either side of my hand of green, and it looked disgusting. And then I had like weird green splash marks of sweat all up the watch. So bear in mind, the watch can look gross if you get a bit sweaty wearing it. Obviously you can polish it out and you can clean it off your skin, there's no harm. I've never had any reaction to bronze or anything, but I just think it's an unnecessary addition in terms of a material to this watch, where if it was made stainless steel, it would make it easier for you to not worry about having to polish it, buff it. Yeah, bronze looks awesome, but I'm realizing from wearing it a bit, you do definitely get tarnishing and green gunk on your skin, which just looks gross. And I don't want that when I'm wearing a watch, to be honest with you. So I've jumped already to one of my dislikes, but it gives you an idea. And I'll also discuss the strap, which is pretty poop. But yeah, so bronze looks awesome, but stains your skin. Strap, junk. So what I'm going to do now, before I go on to my likes and dislikes and final conclusion for you guys, is I'm going to show you a little slideshow of this watch out and about in action with a few different straps I think I've got it on, and give you an idea of how nice it can look out and about in real light settings. So I hope you enjoy this. So now let's move on to my likes and dislikes. My likes from having this watch a while and getting some experience with it is price. 125, 130 pounds. I recommend steeldivuk.com because they're a UK supplier. They're brand new. You get them so quickly with first class delivery, and you use my code, Watch Me With Watches 5, which is just a nice gesture. Again, people presume this is just an advert with a discount code. It's not. It's just a nice gesture for me to give to you guys and to celebrate a relationship with me and Steeldive, because it's great. I get to get these watches and share my findings with you. Before you spend your hard-earned money on buying one, you can hear my opinion, which is all it is, and see what you think. So price is awesome. The looks are gorgeous. I'm obviously, that's just my opinion, but I really like this really clear, legible dial, and it's one of those watches you can just glance at and it's so clear, which is the objective of a pilot style watch anyway. And I like the NH35 movement. If I haven't said that already, it's an NH35, which is relatively low maintenance. It's got hacking and hand winding. It's got the date complication, 41-hour power reserve. It's a great movement, and they're generally, you know, zero worry. They're just no problems at all. The bronze, the look of it I like. I do think it's a nice look. Let's get a closer look. I do like that. I like how it changes all the time. Like I say, it patinas, it reacts with the air and the oxygen and oils in your skin and things like that. And it's ever changing, and you can polish it and it looks really bright again. It looks like copper, and you let it sort of degrade over time, if you will, and then it starts to get sort of a mucky look to it. But it adds to the vintage look, which I love that look. The fit and finish is exceptional. The tactile aspect of this watch is the only thing you can judge it by is the crown, but it screws and threads so smoothly and undoes, and just every part of the functionality of the crown is perfect. It's just really easy to use, no troubles there, so that's really good. The size and the weight, like I said, it's before, it's a good size. It's an appropriate size. It's bigger than the originals were back in the 40s. They were tiny. They were like the size of a 50p. This is a more appropriate size for modern day, and I like that. Then comfort on wrist, because of that, it's lightweight and it's a decent size. It's going to suit most people, unless you really want a massive Flieger style watch. But this is more appropriate for this style of watch from that era, so I would say it's appropriate and in keeping with its original design theme. And moving on to design theme, I like its historical design. It looks like a vintage watch, and that is cool, but it has the modern features. And if I haven't covered that already, I'll move that on into my next bit, which is the loom. The loom on this is fantastic. I'm going to show you that now. As you can see, it's got a mixture of two colours, the 12, 3, 6 and 9 in the hands. It's more of a green colour, and all the rest is a bluey colour. And I think that's really cool. It's so legible and crisp. Very well applied, very clear, bright loom, and I'm very impressed with that. That's always a positive with these Steeldive watches, definitely. And my final like is the fact it's fun and unusual. It's fun to have a watch made out of something different. It's not stainless steel. It's bronze. That's a cool thing to make something out of, because this is, like I said before, it's ever changing, and it forms a patina, and people look at it and go, well, that's cool, what's that? You know, it's got this striking look to it, and that is a plus for me. And moving on to my dislikes, I would say I've covered it already. The strap and the fact that the bronze tarnishes your skin, that's definitely a bit of a boo-boo for me. I don't like that. And the final thing, which I really struggle with, is the slight mismatching of the branding. Now, Steeldive is a cool name, and I think the logo is okay. It's people say it upside down looks like an angry ninja. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does, little legs and a frowny face. So that's quite funny. That is cool. But then when you go to the back, it's got a different bit of branding. Now this is interesting. Let me turn this around. You can see it's, you know, it's a fighter pilot's helmet with it's like swords behind him. I just think, so we've got fighter pilot, and then we've got the generic Steeldive logo, Angry Ninja, on the front. So that's what you're going to get with these Chinese watches when it comes to branding. Is they've got ideas, but they don't know how to do continuity sometimes. At least they're not going down the route of Pagani. Now they've had to change the name, and it's badly spelt. It's embarrassing, and or there's Bercigar, or God knows what else they call their watches. But it's, at least Steeldive is a striking name, and the logo is okay, and a lot of you have made comments that it does look like a blob or a smudge, or it's a bit fussy, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse, we all have. It's acceptable at this price point, I must say. So my final conclusion for you guys is, would I recommend this watch, guys? I would, but be wary of the bronze, because it can affect your skin. But you can get a watch very similar, if not identical to this, from Steeldive in stainless steel. You don't have to have bronze, and budget yourself a few extra pounds. Depends on the quality of the strap you want to get. They can vary, but I recommend Watch Gecko, because you know what you're going to get. Change your strap. You get more choice, it's more versatile, and you get something that really complements the design of the watch and makes it more practical for you. So I hope this has been useful, guys, and I've really enjoyed sharing this with you. Really value your comments. Don't forget to be nice and tell me what you really think. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So, bye for now.